that are buzzing in trade today. But before that, let's have a look at how the markets are doing. And Ankita, we are celebrating ET Now's 16th birthday, and looks like the markets are also cheering, isn't it?
Absolutely, Ashesha. In fact, the markets are, it seems like, cheering on ET Now on its 16th birthday. We turned sweet 16. The markets also look in a sweet spot. We are above 25,000 levels on the Nifty, trading with gains of 1% there. We are managing to hold on to those levels, and on the Nifty Bank as well, we are trading with gains of 1%. 56,217 is where we are perched at. Let's look at Sensex as well. Sensex is also up 1%. In fact, we have across the 82 250 mark on the Sensex as well. Broader markets in tandem. In fact, Nifty Mid Cap is trading with gains of 1%. Nifty Small Caps almost up 1%. So, Ashesha, the market breadth looks very, very positive. It's not just a particular sector or the benchmark indices, but in general, the entire market breadth is looking very positive today.
Absolutely. And all sectoral indices continue to trade with gains in today's trading session. But let's get started with all the stocks that are buzzing in trade today. And on the technical side, we have Vikash Jain, Head of Research at Reliance Securities, now joining us. And from the research desk, we have Ravinder joining us on the show. But first up, let's talk about Nestle India. The stock is up nearly 2% in today's trading session after the board of directors informed the exchanges that the board meet is scheduled to happen on the 26th of June to consider bonus issue. Big news that has come in for the stock, because of which the stock is gaining nearly 2% in today's trading session.
All right, moving on to Vikas. You picked up Nestle on the charts for us. Vikas, tell us, what do you see on the charts for Nestle? If I pull up the charts for Nestle India, today it's up almost 2%, but in the last 6 months, it hasn't done much. There hasn't been much movement in Nestle. From here on, how do you see the stock going ahead?
Good afternoon to the ET Now team, and congratulations for the 16th birthday. So if you look at the Nestle per se, the stock has witnessed some amount of volatility over the last 1.5 months, witnessing some amount of move near to 2650 odd levels, and again a decline. But we believe the support of the 100-day and the 200-day average continues to hold on. With the inclusion into the Sensex space and the corporate action which is likely to be announced next week, so the stock could be in momentum. So we expect the stock again reback near to 2620, 2630 levels. And by the time the stock announces its dividend bonus announcement, and if the bonus announcement has been pretty strong, then we could see some another extension of the rally of the up move. So we remain constructive and positive from current levels, with an stop of around 2280 on the downside and 2630 on the high side.
Right, remain constructive on Nestle India. That's the word coming in. But let's move on to the next set of counters that are in focus today. And of course, banks are in focus today on the back of the fact that RBI has issued final guidelines on project finance loans that were more lenient than the earlier proposals. Now, the new norms reduce the capital that banks and NBFCs must set aside for infrastructure and real estate projects lending, freeing up a lot of additional lending and easing of profitability pressures. Now, on the back of that, Motilal Oswal says that the new guidelines simplify and standardize the treatment of project loans across sectors. This is likely to result in minimal impact on the bank's profitability and balance sheet. A key positive, in the final norms is that they apply only the new and the upcoming project loans, and they believe that the impact of the revised norms on banks and NBFC's profitability will be negligible, and existing book remains rather unaffected. Their top picks remain ICICI Bank, HDFC Bank, SBI and Federal Bank. IIFL is also saying that in terms of incremental impact versus the current norms, banks' asset provisioning would increase by 25 to 60 basis points for projects under construction, but there would be no impact on the operational projects. So that's what these brokerages are saying. But banks are in good stead today. In the pink of health, HDFC up 1.2%. SBI is also trading with gains of 1.3%.
Several of these banking stocks in focus and gaining on the back of this news piece, but let's put the spotlight on one of them, Axis Bank. Vikas, you've picked up Axis Bank for us. This one actually is not doing anything in today's trading session, trading near that 1218 odd levels. But do you see more upside in this stock going forward?
Look at the stock was a strong outperformer in the last quarter. Since then, it has just been continuously trading sideways between 1160, 1150 on the downside, 1235, 1240 on the higher side. And with the expected numbers joining through with one of the subsidiaries, Axis Finance is also slated for an IPO. So some amount of return would happen. And private banks per se has been trading sideways for the last 1.5 2 months since the Bank Nifty sailed near to 56,000 odd, 57,000 odd levels. So we believe Axis Bank price correction, time correction both have been overdone into the name, and the stock would retrace back near to 1320, 1330 on the higher side. Strong support areas on the weekly charts also order as well, so we remain positive. We believe 1320, 1330 could be expected over the next few weeks.
All right, moving on from Axis Bank, Rabinder, you picked out one from the real estate sector, Brigade Enterprises. Tell us what's the news flow on this?
Well, as Brigade Enterprise is in focus, where French bakery and Cafe Paul is set to mark its much anticipated Bangalore debut at a Brigade Group flagship mall Orion Gateway in August. And apart from this, Brigade Group's brand Buzzworks continues to strengthen its presence in Hyderabad with Info India Private Limited. The company has signed a 24,000 square feet workspace at Auro Orbit High Tech City, and this adds the Buzzworks growing footprint in the city and support its broader plan to reach 1 million square feet of managed workspace across its portfolio by the end of FY26. So back of this news, Brigade Enterprise is in focus and stock is holding a gain of approx 1.5%.
Okay, Brigade Enterprises is up nearly 1.5% in today's trading session, in line with several other real estate stocks. But shifting focus to Bajaj Finserv then. Vikas, you've picked up this stock for us. Tell us, where do you see the stock headed from here on?
In terms of Bajaj Finserv, the stock has seen some strong outperformance, and we believe the outperformance would continue to the insurance space. The stock has been holding its short-term and the medium-term band of averages, and the recent correction from the highs of around 2130, 2150 levels, a good 10-12% corrective action has came into the range, so which orders well. So key support areas are in place. RSI is at the reversal path, crossing its average line. So we believe the stock would again reback along with the other insurance companies like MFSL and HDFC Life, which are strongly outperformers. So Bajaj Finserv would also move higher, again back near to 2100.
All right, moving on then. Kanishka, coming to you, you picked out one from the Pharma pack, Aurobindo Pharma. It's buzzing on the back of a brokerage note. Tell us, what does the brokerage note say?
That's right. Aurobindo Pharma is in the focus because the company is entering a transition phase, shifting from traditional generics to high-value complex therapies. Now, brokerage firm Nuvama that has reiterated its buy stance on the company with a target price of 1,460 rupees, citing the company's $100 billion rupees plus strategic investments across Pen-G, injectables, biosimilars, peptides, and biologics CMO. The company is also expanding its footprint with 3 new US plants and investments backed in biologic CMO venture with MSD. On the back of this Nuvama note, the stock has been trading up with gains of more than 0.5% in trade today.
Okay, so Aurobindo Pharma in focus on the back of this Nuvama report, but we need to slip into a very short break on that note. We'll discuss many more stocks on the other side of the break, so don't go anywhere.
पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ, डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा, धोखा नहीं देगा, ऊपर नीचे भी नहीं होगा.
This one is in focus on the back of their fundraising plans, where the company has raised about 4,500 crores via QIP. They closed their QIP at an issue price of 330 rupees per share. The stock is currently trading at 351, and the list of allottees include the likes of ICICI Prudential Funds. We have SBI Contra Fund, Aditya Birla Sun Life Mutual Fund, Mirai Asset and Nippon Life. So several allottees in this particular QIP that the company has done, where the company has raised 4,500 crores, and the stock is sitting with gains of nearly 0.8% on the back of this fundraise.
All right, so that's Biocon on the back of that news flow. But coming to you, Vikas, you picked out LIC Housing for us. Tell us, what do you see on the charts for LIC Housing?
Look at LIC Housing is a strong underperformer. If you look at from the calendar year perspective, the stock has remained flat for the last 5 to 6 months. But with the interest rate reversals remaining in place with 150 basis points, the housing finance segment continues to look good. LIC Housing Finance has been continuously able to maintain its support area near to 565, 570, making a double bottom on the weekly charts. So risk reward ratio is favorable. Crossover of short-term and the medium-term band averages on the weekly charts orders well and would give a clear breakout for 720, 730 over the next one quarter. So we remain positive on that movie. We expect this stock to hit near to 720, 730 over the next 2 quarters.
Okay, so that's all the time we have on this edition of the show. Rabinder, Kanishka and Vikas, thank you so much for taking your time out and joining us and listing out a whole host of stocks that are buzzing in trade today. But let's now shift focus to the top headlines at this hour. Tensions in West Asia are reaching a boiling point. Iranian missiles have struck southern Israel, sparking fires near Beersheba and a peak tech park housing Microsoft offices. No casualties have been reported yet this morning. Meanwhile, Iran's foreign minister meets European officials in Geneva to push diplomacy forward.
But Donald Trump has said he will decide in 2 weeks on possible U.S. military action against Iran, adding, "I may do it, I may not." Russia has warned the world is millimeters from a nuclear disaster. The UK is pulling staff from Tel Aviv while global powers call for calm.
On the 16th anniversary of ET Now, SBI Chairman C.S. Sethi speaks on the Yes Bank SMBC stake for the first time, says the bank took a strategic decision for long-term stability. Meanwhile, each board will decide on exiting from the bank.
PM Modi visits Bihar ahead of the upcoming assembly polls to launch a series of key development projects. Flags of Gorakhpur, Patliputra, Vande Bharat Express, and inaugurates the 1,800 crore rupees worth of sewage treatment plants under the Namami Gange mission.
But that's all the time we have on this edition of the show. Don't go anywhere. Many more interviews coming up on the other side of the break.